My name is Molly Wright. My project is called C.O.R.E. It stands for Compassionate Online Reflective Experience. And it's designed as a way for undergrad students who have dealt with sexual assault or relationship violence or stalking to come forward with their story first to themselves before reaching out to other resources that are available to them. I chose to focus on survivors of sexual assault because I worked as a peer advocate on my college campus for my undergraduate career, and working directly with them really showed me the prevalence of this issue on college campuses. For every one student that came in and talked to us, there were tons of others that were too afraid to come forward with their story. And I realized how much courage it takes to actually reach out for help. So how do we bring compassion, and how do we keep that human element even while survivors are searching alone online? What makes my solution novel and useful is that it takes this already existing structure of kind of talking to someone in person and transforms it into an online experience. Instead of having to build up all this courage to go into an office that they've never been in before, students can look up information on their phone and still receive that same kind of support and that same kind of compassion that they would receive in person, but in the privacy and comfort of their own home. So the journey that I want a user to go through is to feel comfortable in identifying the experience that happened to them. So if students came onto a college website and were specifically looking for the sexual assault resources page, something would pop up and ask them to participate in this kind of optional interactive experience. And from that point, if they chose yes, they would get a little avatar to serve as kind of a friend and a guide. They're designed to provide supportive statements along the way, things as simple as "I believe you" or "Thank you so much for telling me your story." They would start by participating in a writing exercise to kind of detail whatever experience they had had in whatever form or shape that they felt comfortable with. And then they would move into a sort of magnetic poetry style exercise. So if they're finding it difficult to write out word for word what happened, emotionally it might resonate more if they could kind of pick and choose and pair words together. And then from there, they were given the chance to tear down victim-blaming statements in kind of a self-empowerment exercise. And then it would move into reading other survivor stories because it lets them know that they're not alone and they're not the only one that's gone through this. And then there was a self-care section because it can be really difficult to talk about these things and relive these things. That would be the end of the interactive section, and then the avatar would continue to accompany them as they continued on the college website. In its final state, I see my project being an integrated source on an already existing college website. So giving them a program to complement the resources that they already have available. The presentation of my project was pretty simple. It was just poster board and construction paper and multiple storyboards because I thought it was more impactful to have the students of our class actually go through and do the exercises for themselves. The reaction in the class was overwhelmingly positive. All in all, letting me know that they felt that this was such an important resource and that it had really struck them on a personal level. So it was really exciting to see really important conversations about sexual assault, about available resources, and about the stigma that still exists around sexual assault. A lot of that came forward just from this simple exercise.